Hey, what's up, guys? Bo and I are hanging out at the Geek House on a Saturday, which is very unusual, but we wanted to hide from the rest of the world, and some Civil War news came out. Begged Bo to come in here. We pulled the nice whiteboard here in the Geek House, so we thought we'd have some fun with it, so show you some pictures. So I'm excited for Civil War. Or Bo, how do you've seen all the Marvel movies? Are you excited for it at all?
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. I'm excited just because Captain America is definitely one of my favorites. There's some interesting things that they're doing, deviating from some of the comics, but again, we've already established that this is the Marvel Cinematic Universe, not the Marvel comic book universe so much. So it's okay.
Have you seen this image before?
I have, yes.
So we have the Iron Man bleeding edge armor, which I think the armor for Iron Man is getting boring and boring. Like, it was like more gold, kind of gold. Like,
Let's
this
change
is a
it
redesign.
from a circle to a triangle to now a trapeze.
To a star.
That's really like the only... Yeah, to a star.
They did Iron Patriot, and I was like... Trapezoid.
Yeah, there's only so much you can do with it. It was cool, and they're changing up Captain America's armor a lot too. As you can see, it's a little more spangly, star spangly, I guess, if you want to put it that way.
And armored.
And armored. Which is good. I really, honestly don't like Captain America's stupid fish scale armor. I think it's kind of retarded looking.
Yeah, no, people are like, I heard they're going back to that. And I'm like, no, there's people in the world that have a brain, and no, they're not going to fish scale armor.
Captain America. It makes no sense.
My favorite still one is one from Winter Soldier. That's like all kind of black and dark blue. That one. So Civil War, we know there's going to be a division of 2 different teams. So now we actually have a confirmation of what those teams are. Right here we have Vision, Black Panther, played by Chadwick Boseman. It's going to be his first time in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so we're excited to see that. Iron Man with the bleeding edge armor. Black Widow and War Machine, which I'm a huge Don Cheadle fan, so War Machine.
Hotel Rwanda, bro.
Look at this. Look at that gun. It's like all Tron looking.
I know.
Dude, that's a plasma gun. That's what that's going to be.
I'm a huge fan of War Machine.
What sticks out to you in this picture specifically, Bo?
Vision. Vision, as we know it, was essentially... You can't see Vision right now because I'm... No. Okay, Vision's right here. Okay, good.
Ghostly.
It's kind of weird being backwards. But anyway, so Vision, as we know it, was kind of like the Jarvis reincarnated in a human form kind of thing because of Ultron going ahead and creating that. He used one of the Infinity Stones to put it into Vision's forehead, yada yada. So Vision's incredibly intelligent. He's got kind of that greater picture style of thinking. And so it's interesting that he's on the side of basically S.H.I.E.L.D. in this picture, just because you would think he'd be about, no, this is what's right, but he's probably going to think about, well, let's look at what the most logical thing is for the greater good of humanity over the next X amount of years. He's not going to look at what's right and wrong. He looks at what's logical, which is why he's an interesting character.
I wrote on here, I'll write it here on the pen.
I'll back out.
You're good. I wrote OP and smart guy because he's kind of like really overpowered. Like, who's really going to fight him? Like, one thing you guys will notice here is that there's a huge skill difference between all these guys. But yeah, hugely OP, really smart guy. What do you think of Black Panther here? Old BP.
With him being a political figure in this actual universe, it's going to be interesting to see what his specific motivations are for everything. If it's going to be, let's keep the peace for the greater good of my political position. Let me see if I can keep my office. Let me see what's right and wrong, what's bad and good.
Because he runs his own country, and
exactly.
so that's
why it's kind of a weird thing to get into, because then you think, like, is he only doing this so that way the country as a whole is... You know,
I think
or is it a moral thing for him?
I think
he's questionable, in my opinion.
He's hugely moral standpoint. He grew up in a family that ruled the country. He's kind of grown up that way. Yeah. So, you know, he's thinking about what's best for the greater good. That's the mindset of greater good. Tony Stark has that same mindset of what's better for the greater good. Sacrifice the one for the million.
Yeah.
And, you know, War Machine's always going to be with Iron Man. They're BFFs for life, you know. The one that I'm kind of questioning here is the wild card. You can't read that, but it says wild card in secret language. It's so big. Is Scarlett Johansson. Like, I felt that she had such a good chemistry with Steve Rogers in in Winter Soldier. I'm like, oh, they're tight. They're best friends for life.
I mean, I think I think it's going to be an interesting dialogue because, as we know, Black Widow is that secret agent kind of thing that flip-flops to both sides and everything. So I think there might be some dialogue with Steve as well, with Steve Rogers. And there's going to be that, because also when you look at the other picture, Hawkeye, who she's homies with.
Right here.
Hawkeye, exactly. Hawkeye is in this picture with Captain America. So I think she's going to do the whole play both sides thing, do the whole turncoat thing. Black Widow normally just does what she thinks is right for the moment, but it's also like kind of the mercenary style of thinking.
The thing that pissed everyone off in the leaked footage from Civil War is that Hawkeye's like standing over her with a bow, and she goes, "Are we going to be friends after this?" Or no, Hawkeye says, "Are we going to be friends after this?" She goes, "Depends how hard you hit me." Like, is this a death battle? Like, are people fighting to the death? Or this is like a scrimmage? I don't want a scrimmage. I don't want a movie of them in a danger room play fighting. I want them to like kill each other.
Yeah.
I want people to die. So, first thing when I showed Bo this, he's like, "Purple!" That was the first thing I saw. Oops. Board work in purple.
Yep. Which is good because we know Hawkeye's been in that black outfit in all the movies that he's been in. But if you've seen him in the books, he looks dumb, I think. But he's got this purple outfit, and so I think it's great that they're kind of doing the whole throwback to that.
If you look right here, this little guy, Ant-Man. I love Ant-Man. You guys can't read any of that, but I'm having a joy writing on the board. So
I'm standing in the
just
way.
run with it.
Looks like graffiti.
But what do you like? I love the fact. So we know Ant-Man. I feel like they're like playing down the fact that he's going to be small the whole time.
Yeah.
Spoiler: it's already been confirmed that he's going to use the little blue tablet that he did in Ant-Man to grow, to escape infinity, to grow into like a 9-foot, 10-foot tall giant man person. I'm excited for that. This guy, if there was a leaked footage at the Civil War footage, literally at the end of it, they just go and open up a van, and it's like Scott Lang like asleep, and he wakes up and there's Captain America and Captain America and Hawkeye, and he's like, "Hey, oh my gosh, it's a pleasure to meet you. It's so good to meet you, Captain America. Yes, thank you so much." And supposedly that made the whole trailer. So I'm actually more excited for him than anybody else because Ant-Man was that good for me.
Yeah.
And even in the trailer, people said like they saw Crossbones fighting, they saw Winter Soldier, but yet everyone was like, Ant-Man. Why is she here? I loved Revenge for the first season, and then I didn't care.
Good rapport with the director?
Agent 13 is huge in the comics.
But she was not in the cinematic universe, and that's why we think that, why is it a big deal that she has to be in this movie? Because it's like, oh, we want to be true to the comics, we want to be true to the comics. It's been established multiple times. The Marvel Cinematic Universe is 10 times different from the actual comic book universe.
And she can be here, but this is not just a random people of the world.
Yeah,
this is a team lineup.
This isn't a cameo
appearance. This is the roster. This is your like 2013 NFL roster here. We're debuting. Well, that's what it is. It's like, these are the teams. This is who's going to fight. This guy's going to kill that muff, and they're going to get it out.
Yeah.
But who, like, she was a nurse. I was like, I'm a nurse. I'm here to help. Like, that was Winter Soldier. Let's jump on to more important people here.
Let's go back to this right here, and let me kind of, can we erase that part? Whatever, we'll worry about it later. I like this. Okay, well, Captain America, that's obvious. Captain America Civil War.
We can
don't have
nerd
to talk
out about him all day if we want.
But what I really want to talk about right here is Falco from Super Smash Bros. Is he in the comic?
I like that armor a lot.
I like it too. Yeah.
Red accents.
And you can see how a lot of it, if you go down, you can see how a lot of it is going to be geared. You can't really see it well here, but a lot of it's going to actually be geared to his actual wind suit. So if you notice, he's not just going to have wings and fly around. It's going to make sense to where he's going to have other wings like down below and whatnot. So all this right here kind of makes sense. But you can see the little robotic hawk thing in the background for Hawk Bro right here. So what's going to be interesting is it's not just the whole... He connects to it telepathically like he did in the books.
Which that was funny. I told you that. I was like, I was like, what is that? And I was like, well, in the comics, he has a bird talk to him telepathically, but goes, that is dumb. And I was like, I know. But they saved it. It's like it deploys out of his backpack. So
what's great is the whole reason he came about was because of a military experiment. He was friends with Steve, and he was like, hey, I did this thing in the military, blah, blah, blah. Whatever, and then he starts flying around. You know, looks like some crazy black guy cruising around in the sky. What's cool is it actually ties back into the military because that's a drone that he can control through the optics on his goggles. So easy line of dialogue fixed it. But I like it a lot more than just him talking to a bird telepathically.
Even if so...
it just doesn't relate to the times as much as that
If I had to label something, this whole thing is Team...
America.
Military. USA, Army, like... Look at this. Winter Soldier is responsible for over like 1,000 assassinations, including Iron Man's parents. I don't know if you guys caught that. In several movies, they've referenced it and talked about it. At the end of Ant-Man, they're like, should we call Tony? No, we shouldn't call Tony. No, we don't call Tony, because this guy killed your parents, Bruce Wayne style. Like, that's how it happened.
That's horrible.
Yeah. And so that's actually, I think, one of the reasons of why they're like starting the war. It's like, that guy killed my parents. Yeah, but he's my best friend. But he killed my parents. Let's just fight already. This has been like played out since day one. But yes, I think this is even an upgrade. I think this is a slight upgrade from Ant-Man. So it's funny, Winter Soldier is so like downgraded. Then Ant-Man, you're like, that's what he's gonna have in all the future stuff. No, I even feel they even took it like a step further. And this is definitely Zack approved. In cursive writing that you can't read, but I'm having so much fun. But they even cleaned his face up, so I circled this already, but look how pretty he is.
And that's cool. They took the little face mask off of him because, you know, the whole him catching Captain America's shield and crap, and he's all like... So they took the face mask off of him.
No mask is so hot right now, Bo.
Well,
it's so hot.
Which means there's going to be a lot more... he's not going to be as elusive of a character, which is great. He's not going to be the one that's just kind of a support character. He's going to actually be there as a key component in, you know, this battle that's going to happen with Civil War.
My guess is, so my theory is that he's already remembered a lot of stuff. That last scene, end credit scene of Winter Soldier.
Whenever he was like, oh snap, and
yeah, he like
sneaks off at the end.
I think they're gonna show up and they're like gonna grab him. They're like, come here. You kill people, you're a bad person. He's like, dude, stop. We're best friends.
Yeah.
Like, you remember that? He's like, yeah, we're best friends. Yes, sorry. Okay, let's go on. Because I think it clicked for him. Brainwashing's gone. They move forward. Now he's the new pretty boy. Interesting fact, he actually tried out for Steve Rogers. And he was the second pick. So if Chris Evans would have said no, Sebastian Stan would have been the new Steve Rogers. And then the other Steve Rogers that was close was the guy from The Office. What's his name?
Steve Carell.
Nope.
The guy who plays Dwight.
Nope. That would have been hilarious. No, the guy who married Pam.
Kevin, the big guy?
Yes, him.
Oh,
he
the
would
guy
have been Steve
married
Rogers.
Pam.
Yeah.
The one, what was that guy's name? But yeah, that nerd.
Yeah, like I looked at that and I was like,
that would have been a horrible.
That's a way to sink a franchise real quick. Like,
yeah, seriously, that guy's terrible.
That's kind of interesting. So they played that way. I'm actually rooting for this team. If you guys actually read Civil War, Bo hasn't finished all of it, but he will. This is nothing like the comic book. So just reading the comic, nothing like it, and we'll go forward. But I'm excited for it. And then on top of that, the last image is this giant brawl. This will be quick. It's kind of like who's who of who's missing. It's like real, like, Bo, off the start, who is missing here?
Well, all it is just the main people from those other pictures. And so some of the people that are going to be missing are, obviously Thor is missing because he's in Asgard. Hulk is missing because he's depressed because he wants to make out with Scarlett Johansson and he's in an airplane flying around somewhere and then he's probably curing kids of cancer in China or some bullcrap like that. So that's what Banner's doing and that's what Thor's doing.
Which is that's a cinematic standpoint, but from a overall like business standpoint, first of all, I'm not going to use
Coulson.
Oh my gosh, don't even start on that. But here's the thing, they're not going to pull in Chris Hemsworth and use up a ticket, like a punch card on his ticket of how many movies contracted for. These guys are too OP. They're too OP to bring in here. Can you imagine having... Well, first of all, why would Thor side with these guys? Why would Hulk side with these guys? We've already broken down why these guys are on each side. I can't think of a reason of why...
And another reason is this is not an Avengers movie. This is not like the Avengers kiss and make up and go, you know, no, this is a portion of the Avengers and also S.H.I.E.L.D. are having a conflict about something, and that's what this is all about. So there's going to be characters.
It's all about that Cap, son.
Yeah,
it's a Captain America movie.
That's what it's all about.
So guess what? They have his best friend in it. They got his best token black friend in it. They got the girl he's probably going to sleep with in it. And they got his friend who's too cool to be friends with him in it.
And then they got his friend who's too cool to be huge.
He will be huge, though. He'll be so big.
I mean, right now.
He'll be so big.
All right, stop.
He'll be so big.
Right, you're giving me anxiety.
That's that big. But really, I'm really excited for the movie. The fact that people are like, well, why isn't Marvel at Comic-Con? Well, they won D23. Hey, guys, here's the thing. I'm super excited for Civil War. Hopefully you guys got a good look at the pictures before they get pulled off the internet, because I told Bo...
There's a few that are already being taken off. We had a few that while we were preparing for this, we had a few that we were going to put up, but they were actually taking off. So it's kind of interesting. We had to, I guess, save the images and put them into something first before they all got taken off. So go and look, go find them, go look at them in detail, blow them up in better quality than we had them, and go take a look. So, all right.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching our video. If you guys want to see more videos like this, please subscribe, please like, and share with your friends. You guys have a good one. Bo, let me see your Venom mug, by the way. Got these from Loot Crate. I got Carnage.
I got Venom, Loot Crate, this month. Thank you.
I'm sorry. This would be weird. This would be weird. Weird.